according to requirements. So even I showed you 1-2 example here. Based on that, you must practically try others. You have to explore yourself. Why? Because in next version, it may change. It may change. So it is developers' responsibility to keep in touch and regularly check what updates are coming and adapt them, right? Otherwise, these are not, that's the reason you will never see any videos much about React materials. On YouTube, if you search React material video, you will not see much videos on that. They will just give a simple explanation about what it is, how it works. 1-2 components they will show you. Nobody gives a complete end-to-end tutorial on this because everybody doesn't need it. Even you explain, it is time waste. Why? Because so every few days you have to change. And not only that, everybody is not using it. That's so if you can use, how it will be very helpful. Just designs, functionalities we can make better. I will show you the difference now. So how to get this material? So actually, remember, it provides MUI. This is material UI provides both UI and UX components. What is UI? UI stands for user interface. UX stands for user experience. Designing a good interface and giving a good experience. Good experience is nothing but adding more functionality, more features into that. That is what actually experience is. For example, what is the difference? I will tell you. Means I will give one small concept here. Suppose we designed a grid. Grid is nothing but actually it is like a table. We designed a grid or a table. In this table, what we are doing is, this table is having 1 to 10 rows capacity, 1 to 10. That means this grid can display 1 to 10 rows at a time. It can show 1 to 10 rows at a time. Now what happens is, we have some data. We have some data coming from database. In that data, we are having 100 records. And these 100 records we are displaying in the grid. But grid can show how many records? 10 at a time. After that, we are adding page number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 like that. These page numbers, every page have 10 records. Now, first 10 records are displayed on the screen. What about other 190 records? Are those records loaded or not? All 100 records loaded or not? If all 100 records are loaded, the question is why you are loading? He is watching only for 10. Why you are loading 100? This is burden for application. Then what developers do? If anybody asks how to solve this problem, solving the problem means I am explaining you the point. Tell me the solution. Point is, when user clicks second, then next 10 should come. When user clicks third, next 10 should come. At a time, 100 should not come. How you will handle this? Do you have any name for this mechanism? In software technologies, which mechanism is used for handling this kind of problem? Everywhere it is there. Java, .NET, PHP, Python. In every technology, this problem will come. They have a solution. Every technology has same issue. In Java, you are reading 100 records, but per screen you are showing only 10. In .NET, you are doing same. PHP, you are doing same. What is the solution for this? Any solution you can suggest? How you will resolve this problem? For that, in software programming languages like Java, .NET, PHP, Python, they have a concept called lazy loading. If you belong to any software technology, you can search in your technology about lazy loading. You will get a lot of things. So lazy loading in Java, lazy loading in .NET, lazy loading, because lazy loading is a concept of OOP languages, object-oriented programming. We have two mechanisms, eager loading, lazy loading. Eager loading means it is loaded even if it is not necessary. That means even not using it, it is loaded. Lazy loading means it will load only when it is in use. That's good. If you implement lazy loading, then this grid will be very good. Designing grid is UI. Giving lazy loading behavior to that grid is UX. That is called user experience. User experience means how I can experience this grid in usage. It should behave well. It should be fast. It should perform well. How you can do that? By adding some behaviors. So the design is UI. The behavior is UX. Right? Many people have a wrong idea about this. Because at fresher level, when people come to learn technology, they have a different idea on UX. Because we generally have UI batches. When we teach UI, user interface, they ask in the beginning days, they ask, will you teach UX also? They think that UI, UX are different concepts, right? No, designing interface is UI. Giving a good behavior is UX. That is general thing. It is not a separate concept that you have to teach. But unfortunately, because you people come with such mindsets, even the trainers and training people, they classify that this is UI, this is UX. And some people thinks UX means Photoshop, Illustrator, graphics. These are UX, which is completely mistake. UX is not about graphics. UX is about behavior. Design is UI. Behavior is UX. That is what the point. And React Material UI, it provides both UI, UX. Both. So they provide UI with UX. Some components internally they maintain UX, but for components they ask you to manually UX. And for that they have UX also. Observe in this, the UX is also there. That means UI and MUX. UX is nothing but advanced and powerful components for complex use cases. One of the use case just now I told you, use case is lazy loading. That is a use case actually. Lazy loading is a use case. I told you yesterday dependency injection. Dependency injection, lazy loading, these are the use cases. For them, we can develop powerful components and use them. So this people provide so many, but all are not free. Only the first one is free for you. What is free? MUI core. That is only free. Here they clearly mention ready to use what is it? Foundational React components free forever. These are free things. Others not free. You have to purchase and use them, right? And if somebody cannot purchase, then usually they ask their developers to write. And for writing UX, it takes a lot of time. That means if you are concerned about time, then you purchase this UX and use them. You are not concerned about time, then you write your own UX. You write the logics for that. Writing logics for lazy loading and all, it takes time. You have to follow a lot of design patterns for that. So this is the concept of material UI, right? Why? Because in the beginning days, people don't have all this idea. They just hear that in React, there is will be a concept called material. So first day I will ask, will you teach MUI also, materials also? That first a developer should know that it is not a concept that somebody teaches and you learn. Because you don't know about that till this date, that's the reason it's okay. But once you know that it is a third party with lot of components, regularly customize it, change it, that means this is not training and learning. This is exploring and using. These are the components you explore and use. Let's see some components. I will show you difference. I will show you, then you will understand. That means they provide lot of simple things. I will show you. So for that, how to install MUI for React project. How to install MUI for React project. Let's see how you can install MUI for React project. How you can use this MUI for React project. Actually, this MUI latest versions little bit changed. Previously different, now different. That means if you are online searching for some examples, you may be sometimes misguided. Why misguided? Because recent MUI changed. So from few versions onwards, they completely changed. So you need some new things to install and configure. Actually, how to install is, you see two installations are there. Let's go to the home page here. Which one? MUI core is the concept. And let's install this MUI. This is the material UI. That is the material UI. And this is the installation, what you have to do. This is the library you have to install. npm install @MUI/material and @emotion react and emotion style. Actually, this is the new library. Means previously they don't have this. They recently added this one also, emotion react and emotion style. Actually, this is the supporting library for React materials. For React materials, the supporting library is MUI, that is emotion react and emotion style. You have to install this. Let's see here. So how we can configure and define, like, yeah. I will just, here I will put a simple option, like, let's install this in our project. This is our video tutorial project. Let's open that and install this MUI, material UI, emotion react and emotion style. Usage is, you can simply understand, it is very easy. Just what it is actually, component library means what? Component library means what? They designed some components and are giving to you how to use them. How to use them? Which component you want to use? Import. And you write the component. After writing the component, how to customize it? After writing the component, how to customize? We also learned how to design components which can be customized. We designed a grid. That grid we can customize according to data. That means you pass field names, you pass the data, it will display the data. Right? We learned how to create a login screen which can be customized. How we can customize any component can be customized by using properties. Component have properties now. That means what you have to learn, you have to learn how to use the components and what are their properties and what is the purpose of every property. If you know, you can easily implement. I will show you the difference now. See. So what is the difference? It is installed successfully. I will add one component for you. So MUI demo. Add a new file MUI demo.jsx. And you can see this is a function. So MUI demo. It's a function. Okay. And return. I'm just using a simple div and a class name as container fluid. Now I will show you here difference. I will show you. For example, what Bootstrap looks like and what MUI looks like. I will show the difference. You will understand. Suppose in a Bootstrap, let's keep this in the startup. Right. Let's go to the MUI here. In the Bootstrap, I want to design a text box. That means I want to design one field. In that field, username I should take. Then traditionally, how Bootstrap designs a field? Usually it designs a field like this. Any field is designed like this. Right. Any field is designed like this. How the field is designed is we have div. In the div, we will have a label. I am showing traditional form design. In that label, we have username, and below that a div. In that we will have a text box. Input type is what? Text. Suppose you want to display some placeholder, you can add placeholder. I said here I will define name in block letters, something like this. And this div, I will put a class name W some 25. And usually label have a class form label. And this text box will a class called form control. That is the traditional actually. This is the traditional way of designing a form. This is the traditional way of Bootstrap actually. This is Bootstrap. And you observe here, let's put this in the startup. What is in the startup? MUI demo. MUI demo is in the startup. And you see the MUI. So we designed Bootstrap because it is already available. I am implementing that Bootstrap. Now newly we will see the difference how MUI can do that. This is Bootstrap. In Bootstrap, a text box looks like this, right? And it contains a label like this. That's how we design Bootstrap text box. Now let's see how MUI text box looks like. For that, what we have to do is we have to first here import. So we need to go to this location. We need to import the component suitable for that. You can go to the documentation here, go to the documentation, docs of MUI documentation. Here you will find, see, these are the different types of components. See how many components are there. So many components. These are all the components they are having. And this is not standard. This is not standard. Keep on changing. Some new things they will add. For buttons, text box, check box, drop downs, right? This is not something somebody teaches you all these now. Because nobody need to teach you what is a button. You know a button. Only the point is these people's button look different than others. How it look different, I will show you. We will see that option. You can see the difference actually. See, suppose we have, this is having some class. We'll put a class name margin top as 4. I'm just adding some gap there. Okay. And suppose here we need a button. So we have a div and a class margin top to margin bottom 4. And we are adding a button. You know how a Bootstrap button looks like. Suppose login. I'm adding class btn primary something. And you can see that is how the Bootstrap button looks like. And I say W100, that's the width 100 for that. Oh, it's very huge. I will keep this inside this area so that it will display like that. And you can see that is how it looks like. This is Bootstrap button and Bootstrap text box. How Material UI looks like, let's see. For that, you see in the Material UI, you can observe we have so many components. In the components, you can see there are so many components here. These are all different types of components. They have a component. I think for text box, they have a component called text field. That is the component for that. That means you select this text field. You can see the design. This is how it looks like. This is the text field, how it looks like. This is the text field, how it looks like. These are various designs of text field. And very important, you want to know the properties. That means if you want to know what properties this text field having. So first thing, as a developer, how do I know? How do I know which library I have to import to use it? In order to use this, which library I need to import? Because in order to use any component, first thing what you have to learn, you should know where it is. What is the library required for that? So if you want to know about any component, remember, learning is also a skill, right? That means knowing about a component means exploring a technology, learning a technology is also a very complex point. It's not easy. So that means you need to do a lot of hard work. That means even so many ready-made designs and code is given to you, you will face a lot of issues in real world. Because when you are customizing, you will face a lot of problems. Even simply when I explained a concept in class, when you are practicing, you will face a lot of errors. right? That means they provide a complete resolved solution to you, but still you will face problems because you are customizing something which you may be doing wrong. Where to customize, what to customize, everything you have to explore. And if you want to know the library that is required, what are the properties it uses, for every component, they provide API. What is the developer's responsibility to learn about any new component on internet? First, go to its API and read. That means let's see where is the API for this. Currently, which component we are watching? Text field. Scroll down. Let's scroll down. You will see there is an API here. It is compulsory that for every library they provide APIs. This is the location where a developer gets complete information about that component. On the screen that you watch, that is just its preview. That is for a newcomer when he wants to learn only simple point about it, what it is, how it works. Then the first screen is okay for. But for software developers, this is the key thing, API. That means how do I know about any component complete end to end? You have to go to API. Let's go to API. Now you can see it shows the API. API about which field you want. API about, I want API about text field. That means let's go click on the text field. It will show the text field API. This is important for you. And in this API, what to import, this is clearly mentioned here. And from where to import. In the first screen that you have seen, that means, see, some people spend hours of time in knowing about a component. They will sit entire day and they learn one concept. Why? Because searching about the topic itself, they will take time. That means searching, you take 1 hour time and finally you got something what you are looking for. But people who are technically sound, they know exactly where and how to search for a topic. Suppose if I ask you to search for one topic and get information about it on Google, you may search. But if the same thing I ask to a professional to search, you take 10 minutes, he will do it in 1 second, few seconds, 3-4 seconds, he will search what he is looking for. The same topic, when you are searching, you may take a lot of time. And some topics will be in such a way that you will never find in search, but other people will find. So many such things will be there. That means these are very complex technologies, right? You don't know what is behind them. If you know what is behind them, it is easy to understand a technology and easy to learn a technology. Right? That's what many people see. Many people, when they want to learn any technology, they try to explore videos, tutorials, and all. Right? If you got the correct resource, then it is very easy to learn the technology. Otherwise, people will confuse you. In this video, he tells like that. In another video, another body tells like that. You will be confused completely. If that is, finding the correct concept is important. To know about any component in Material UI, first select the component, then go to its API. That is the first thing you have to do. So when you go to API, see what is it you're having. You see two import techniques are there. I hope I told you already difference between these two. Can you tell what is first and what is second difference? Can you tell the difference between these two? Hmm? What whole program? Here also text field, here also text field. So what? Bracket means what? What what does that means? Do you find anything different? So the technical answer for this is the first one. The first one you see here, the first one. This is modular. The first is modular. Second one is legacy. The first one is modular. Second one is legacy. What is difference between modular and legacy? I told you in the introduction, features of React. While learning features of React, I told you React is modular. Remember that point? React is modular. So first one is modular. The second one is legacy. What is difference between that? Modular means you see it is importing only text field. First one is importing only text field. Second one is importing entire material library, but using only text field. Why you are importing a complete library to use only text field? So when to use first one, when to use second one? If you are dealing with only one component in this page, then first one is better. But you have to work with a lot of components in the page, like text box, button, check box, radio. Then second one is better. All components are imported. Just you have to write comma, second component, comma, third component. In the above, it is modular. It is not two components. It is only text field. That means the first modular library means only the library text. The second one, complete material library. In the complete material library, you are just using text box. So if you are working with multiple components at a time, second one is best. If you are dealing with only one or two components, then better import them independently.